These are called input-output tables. Input meaning you put something in, output meaning you get something out. And it's called a function in mathematics. It's something that you explore when you're around 8th grade. Right now I have x at -3, and the expression says x minus 3. So what you would do in these problems, I always like to say expression substitute solve, meaning you're going to rewrite the expression x minus 3, and then we'll substitute for x -3. So it's now -3 minus 3, and hopefully you know how to subtract these integers. I would add the opposite, -3 plus -3, and that becomes -6. So you can write that right up here in the chart. When x is -2, we do the same thing. I would rewrite the expression x minus 3, and x is, of course, -2. And if you take 3 from -2, you're actually going to be getting it further to the negatives, further away from 0 on the left-hand side. So it'll be -5. And -1 is going to be a similar deal. You're going to be 4 away from 0. And right here, if you're not taking anything from -3, you get -3. This will be -2, and this will be -1. So that's the idea. Just fill in the outputs. Let's take a look at another one. This one's got 2 steps. If the number is right next to the variable, we call the 6 right here a coefficient. And the coefficient just means to multiply x and 6 in this instance. So rewrite the expression 6x minus 2. X is -2 according to the first number, the first input. 6 times -2 is -12. And -12 minus 2, again, I'm going to add the opposite. So -12 plus the opposite of 2 is -2. So it's -14 when you add those together. Let's take a look at another one. 6x minus 2 is the expression. We replace it this time with -1 because that's the number that's up here for the input. So 6 times -1 minus 2. It's order of operations. Multiply first. 6 times -1 is -6. Take away 2. Let's see if we add the opposite. That becomes a -8. Now, if we plugged in 0, I'm going to try to do this in my head, and hopefully you can follow with me. 6 times 0 isn't anything. It's 0. And so then you just have to take away 2, so this will be a -2. And the pattern starts to look like it's going up by 6 each time in the output over here, and that's because we're multiplying by 6. So this next number would be 4, right? If I did 6 times 1, that's 6, minus 2 is 4. And then 6 times 2 is 12, minus 2 gives us 10. One more for you, x over 5. All I need to do here is put -2 over 5, because that is the value that's going in for x. It's just a fraction. I did that for the rest of them. On 0, I just wrote 0. If you want to write 0 over 5, that's the same thing as 0, so you could put either one of those, but I just wrote 0 because it's simplified. Hopefully this makes sense for input-output tables.